Hello, my name is Tiara Ain Trivena Simbalan with NPM 234110040. Business legality is very important for a company because it has many benefits and can influence the company's long-term success. Here are several reasons why business legality is very important for a company. Legal compliance. Business legality ensures that the company follows all applicable legal requirements, such as government regulations, employment laws, taxes, and other rules. By complying with the law, companies can avoid sanctions and fines that have the potential to harm business. Intellectual property rights protection. Business legality allows companies to register trademarks, copyrights, and patents to protect their products and services from misuse by others. This will help companies to maintain their competitive advantage and prevent financial losses caused by intellectual property rights violations. Access to resources and financing. The legality of a business allows a company to access resources and financing that may not be available to businesses that are not legally legal. For example, a company may apply for a loan from a bank or obtain venture capital from investors. Increase customer confidence. Legitimate companies will increase customer and consumer confidence because they can assure that they are a legitimate and trustworthy business. This will help improve the company's image and strengthen relationships with customers. Avoiding legal risks. Business legality helps companies avoid legal risks that have the potential to harm the business. For example, by having clear contracts and proper licensing legalities, companies can avoid legal disputes that have the potential to consume a lot of resources and costs. The importance of choosing a business entity. The first important thing before obtaining company legality is choosing a business entity. There are various business entities according to needs, namely PT individuals, PT persecution modal, cooperatives, civil partnerships, CVS and firms. For companies that are legal entities, the legal subject is the legal entity. Here, the company's assets are separated from the personal assets and assets of its management, so that it becomes a distinct advantage for the company founder. Meanwhile, if a business entity is not a legal entity, the company's assets are mixed with personal values. The absence of this separation causes major losses if problems occur in the company, meaning that the company owner must be fully responsible for the company's losses. Viewed from the perspective of profits and business sustainability, this type of business established as a legal entity has its own advantages. These advantages are the separation of responsibilities, professionalism, and company transparency. Determine the form of business entity. Second, business actors must have an idea that determines the form of business. You can start by finding out the minimum amount of capital, establishment requirements, the business model you want to run, the business sector you choose, tax provisions, and also development plans. Manage the taxpayer identification number, NPWP, of the owner or founder of the company. The first step in completing business legality is to arrange the NPWP of the owner or founder of the company. To be able to establish a PT, you need a NPWP in the name of the company owner. When processing a company owner's NPWP, here are some things you can do. Collect the necessary requirements such as company domicile certificate, company owner's KTP, and proof of retribution payment. Bring the requirements that have been collected and register at the local tax office. There the officer will check the requirements that have been left and issue the NPWP of the company owner. Company owners can also register their NPWP online via the Directorate General of Taxes, DJP, website or other websites. Prepare the deed of establishment required as one of the legal requirements. The deed of company establishment is one of the legal documents required for the legality of the company. This document states the formation of a company which is made before a notary and accepted by the government, in this case the Ministry of Law and Human Rights. In general, this deed contains the name of the company's objectives, the amount of issued capital and the members of the company's board of directors. To carry out the company registration process, this deed is needed in order to obtain a government business permit. The contents of each deed of establishment of a business entity can vary, depending on the type of business entity. The deed of establishment of the PT contains names and addresses of the company founder's company name and company office address, company goals, the amount of capital placed and paid up by the founder's composition of company management, including names and addresses of directors and commissioners, the period of existence of the company, a statement that the capital has been fully paid up, signatures of the founders and notary stating that this deed is valid. The deed of establishment of a PT must be signed by the founders and must be made by an authorized notary and approved by the government. CV's deed of establishment contains CV name and address, the aims and objectives of the business sector, the name of the ruling ally, each ally's identity card, making cash disbursements belonging to several partners in the name of CV. Register the deed of company establishment with the city district court according to the company's domicile. Register the deed with the district court via a notary, then the draft deed is signed by the management of the business entity. Prepare the deed of establishment required as one of the legal requirements. The deed of company establishment is one of the legal documents required for the legality of the company. This document states the formation of a company, which is made before a notary and accepted by the government, in this case the Ministry of Law and Human Rights. In general, this deed contains the name of the company's objectives, the amount of issued capital and the members of the company's board of directors. To carry out the company registration process, this deed is needed in order to obtain a government business permit.